to understand that I've shared my thoughts with you in the workbook that it's one thing to go through a program like this, and it's another thing to maximize the lessons from it. A lot of time, people just go through stuff, and at the end of the day, they just wash away what they've learned. Now, this 2 weeks is going to be more impactful if you make up your mind to maximize the opportunities that you'll be exposed to. I've seen your introduction. All of you are students, and I'm happy that this is coming to you while you're still in school. This is our first of its kind from Nichub, and the beautiful thing is, after this first cohort, the following cohort might not be live sections like this, and you're actually privileged to be joining us for this first cohort. So once again, you're welcome, and we're going to start immediately. With a show of hands, I want to know if you were able to go through the first chapter of the book before today or before this class. Have you gone through the first chapter of the book? Either you raise your hand, you unmute yourself, or you comment. I want to know, please.
Yeah, I went through it.
Good. Victor went through it. Okay. Hilo, did you go through it? Hilary, have you gone through it? Let me know if.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Good. Now, the first, the book titled The Four E's and I to Employment, it's really all about how individuals, students, unemployed youths can maximize the opportunity they have, maximize the opportunity they have and ensure that they are not jobless, okay, after school. And basically the essence of the book is to help you know what to do differently. So the first E in that chapter is explore. And explore there means your ability to your ability to to review, your ability to search deeply, your ability to check something and scrutinize it very well, right? Let me just read this phrase. Let me read it from the book. I have the book here. It says the Oxford English Dictionary defines the word explore as to examine a subject or a possibility completely or carefully in order to find out more about it. So the first E in staying employable is explore, and here we're talking about your career path. And you see, in that chapter, I talked about myself. I told you how I studied pure and applied chemistry in Lautech for 5 years, and I went on to do so many things, right? Even after that. So exploring your career path would give you a focus on what exactly career path to take. The major problem a lot of students have when they finish school and they are unemployed is not because there are no jobs. It's not because there are no opportunities. It's because many times they don't know what to do. They are confused about what job to do. You hear people say stuff like, what next? After school, what next? They are confused. They really don't know what to do. The society really cannot blame them so much because you see, they go through school with this mindset that what will be will be. A lot of students live their lives like that. Oh, when we pass, if we have a first class, we'll definitely get a job. See, God will take care of tomorrow. Let's just keep living our life. So first 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level, and eventually they finish, and what will be will be. There's no job for you because you have not planned. So the first thing you need to do is to determine in your heart, what career path do I really want to chase after? What do I really want to do after school? Okay, and that's the first E, explore. What do I really want to consider to be doing with my life after school? Or let's say you are a graduate and right now you're serving, or you don't even know what to do. You want to ask yourself, okay, what exactly do I want to do? What path do I want to take? If while I was in the university, I had scrutinizedly, I have been able to, if I was able to design and agree with myself that Israel, after school, I think you should just go into sales and marketing. If I had decided on that while I was spending my 5 years on campus between 2008 and 2013, by now, oh my God, uh, I wouldn't be where I am today. That's just the simple truth. Okay. And basically, this is why I wrote that book. I really want students to plan their lives better. Or I want many young persons out there, you see, to design their lives better, make better decisions, and that way they would not be confused about their lives. They will not be they will not be confused on what kind of job to do after university, right? Basically, that's that's the essence, or that's the importance of exploring. So let's go back to that book, chapter 1, and you see that I said something about a colleague of mine. See, I said in the second paragraph, I said, I know quite a few friends who studied one course but are now moving in an entirely different direction as regards their career. So, this is to say that your career path does not strictly have to be related to what you studied. So I'm going to now open my screen. I'm going to open, share with you some slides. Okay. I'm having this discussion with you because I believe many of you had gone through PowerPoint. You had gone through you had gone through the book, so you already understand. Okay, by show of hands, tell me if you had taken your time to taking your time to read, to answer the questions in the book, or you omit yourself and just let me know. Did you take some time to answer the questions?
Okay,
Yes,
I did
Okay,
not pen it down, but I gave it a thought.
you gave it a thought. Okay, Victor. Hello, you answered the questions, right?
yes, I answered it, sir.
Good, good, good. Very good. So we're gonna just go through the class. Let me see if let me see. Let me see. Okay, trying to share my screen. Let me know once you can see my screen. Might take some time to open. So like I was saying, you really do not have to say, "Oh, it's already too late for me. I'm studying animal science." So um I, so I'm studying animal science. That means I have to be an animal scientist. No, you really do not need to end up becoming an animal scientist if that is not what you want to build your life around. Okay. So that's why I made that statement that it I have a lot of friends. I personally, from my story, I told you I studied pure and applied chemistry. I'm not doing anything in the lab. I'm not doing anything related to chemistry whatsoever. You see, so it basically does not have to be with what you studied. I know that as Africans, you see, many of the courses we are studying in school is because of what what life threw at us. It's funny. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What life threw at us? For me, I wanted to study um I wanted to study petrochemical engineering. Yes, that was my first choice. Okay. Okay. So let's go into the slide. Let's go into the slide carefully. Now, I have the question here. What are you studying and why? So we're going to talk about it. What are you studying and why? That's the first question. The second question is what would you have studied if you had another opportunity? The third question is who is that person you wish to become? Then I said growing up, I wanted to become a petrochemical engineer because I learned that there was a lot of money studying anything related to oil industry. So you see, I did pure and applied chemistry. The real truth is I wanted to do petrochemical engineering, but unfortunately for me, I think my cutoff mark wasn't good enough. So they just threw me into science. They just said this guy can't do pure and applied chemistry. I had the opportunity, to transfer to petrochemical engineering in 200 level because a lot of friends moved. I remember my friend Emmanuel. I talked about Emmanuel in the book. Emmanuel first 100 level was in biology, pure and applied biology, but he also transferred from pure and applied biology. He went into engineering. See, he did mechanical engineering. So I had the opportunity to actually transfer. But somehow I just felt, see, let me just stay in this chemistry. I like the people I'm seeing here, and I stayed back. So let's talk. This is more going to be a practical section. And so I want to hear your point. What are you studying and why? So who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? What are you studying and why?
Um, Good afternoon, sir. My
Good
name is
afternoon,
Iman.
Emmanuel.
My
Yeah.
name, I always wish to study medicine and surgery
Okay.
because that has been my ambition since I was young, and I love to care for people. And
Okay. So what
I
are you
really like.
what are you studying now?
I've just gotten admission to study it.
Oh, awesome. You have
Yes, sir.
always wanted to study medicine and surgery, and now you've been given admission to study that.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I love your story. Oh, you're one in a million kind of a student.
Thank you, sir.
So tell me, is this your first JAM? Because I know in Nigeria you guys write UTME. So is this your first
Yes.
UTME?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
tell me.
my second UTM, sir.
So your first UTME, you also applied for medicine and
Med
surgery.
yes, sir.
So so were you
But
shortlisted or you were not shortlisted at all?
I did not reach the cutoff. So I was given
So
another call.
so what course were you given?
They dropped me to one. I've forgotten the course, but it's a course like those courses that people did not apply for. So they just dropped inside the
Oh,
course. Yes.
I get it. I get it. I get it. So you're such a well, yeah, like I told you, you're one in a million. A lot of people are presently studying those courses that people did not apply for.
Yes.
Just like you said, because they didn't have a choice. They just
Yes.
had to leave the home. They had to leave their houses because they knew that if they did not go and study those courses people do not apply for, maybe nobody would mind them or listen to them or assist them or help them. So they just had to pack their load and say, "Ah, this is what they gave me, oh, I will go and study it like that." Okay, so Hilary, Victor, let me hear from you.
Okay, good evening.
Hi, yeah, good
Um,
evening, Victor.
okay, I'm studying material metallurgical engineering presently now. I had wanted to
Okay,
study while growing up. I wanted to be a medical doctor, but then I
okay,
wrote my first jam, and uni just did not give me admission. So I had
okay,
alternative because I was good in calculation as well. So I wanted civil engineering, well, or mechanical. So I had a niche I was working up. I wanted being a researcher or
okay.
a failure analyst as well. So they gave me material
Wow.
methodology and engineering. And when I went through the course, I could actually become an analyst as well. So I went through the
Okay.
course and on my fourth year now.
So this is your second, this was your second UTME also, or
No, no,
first?
no, no. I wrote jam 3 times. I
The
was affected
first
by
jam,
strike by the second jam. I wrote jam
okay.
3 times.
The
Yeah.
first
The
jam,
first
what
was for
course
the
did they
module
give you?
medicine and surgery. So they did not give me admission.
Okay. Second
So
jam,
the second
strike.
that was that was FUT, and I applied for civil engineering, of which I was getting engineering. The third jam was for computer science. I decided to go computer science because I was so good in tech. But then
Okay.
the admission for FUT later came out because they were on strike and I could not wait any longer. That's why I wrote the third jam.
Okay, Victor. Good, good, good. And Hilary is telling us here in the comment section. You can mute yourself, Victor. So Hilary is telling us here that she studied, she's a graduate, so she studied human resource management. She actually studied it because she was told it could be, I could easily fit in into any organization. I actually wanted to do midwifery. Wow. Wow, this is beautiful. She actually wanted to do midwifery, but she went on to human resource management because she was told she'll be able to fit into any organization. Good. Now, back to what I was saying, okay? Someone else has been able to join us. I said that, like I said, you're welcome, JC. JC is one of us in Nichub. You're welcome. Good to have you around. So, what you study basically does not really have to do with what eventually you become. Now you will get me right as we go on. I love your stories, very beautiful. The second question here is, what would you have studied if you had another opportunity? Okay, so Hillary told us that she would have studied midwifery, if she was allowed to do something she wanted to study, but eventually she did human resource. Um, Emmanuel told us that he wanted to do uh, medicine and surgery first course, he was given something else. He didn't go for the jam. Now he's already studying medicine and surgery. I'm very happy for you. Victor just told us too that he wanted to do something around analysis, and first course it was not related, but now he has gotten what he wanted. I'm so happy for you guys. You guys, your story is so sweet. Oh, it's so sweet. Let me ask JC. JC, can you talk where you are? I know you're a graduate and now you're doing your masters in the UK. So let us know what you studied in the university and why at your first degree. I don't know if you can talk where you are.
Yes, I can actually talk. Good evening, sir.
Good
Good evening,
evening, JC.
everyone. Hey, I studied accounting in the university, and
Okay.
why I studied it because I'm somebody that likes numbers, and also I I have passion for business. Initially, I
Okay.
wanted to do sciences, right? And but when I got to I the school had this guidance and counseling department, so I spoke to
Hmm.
um,
Too hard.
man there and explained um, what I like, my personality, and stuff like that. And he was like, he just recommended me to commercial. I was like, no, I want to
Hmm.
do science. He said, no, do commercial. Uh,
Wow.
so I just started, and then I fell in love with the accounting. Initially, um, my grades were not really cool. I was
Yeah.
like taking like 20 something position in the class, and after the first term, I wasn't comfortable with that actually. So I deliberately chose my friends in school, and those guys that are taking from first to third, like that. And the next term and subsequently, I was taking between 1 to 6. So
Oh,
that was how
awesome. You're
trajectory
able to
changed,
match up.
in school. And I did a lot of reading, studying TDB, and that was the bedrock of my career. That was the bedrock of my personality because I read a lot. Like I read beyond what we were even asked to do
Taught in
because
school.
how do I change my life? And that was how it all happened. And after that, I did accounting in the university. Then
Okay.
after my I did an internship in an audit firm. So that was where how everything started. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome. I love your story too. You people, all of you just have sweet, sweet stories here. That's nice. Okay. So the third question here is, who is that person you wish to become? Now we hear from JC, he wants to be an accountant. We hear from Victor, he wants to be an analyst. We hear from Emmanuel. Emmanuel's story is just so sweet. Medical surgeons. I mean, what do they call them? Medical, yeah. He's a medical surgeon. Yeah, I think I'm right.
Is
I
it
think I'm
neurosurgeon?
no, he's not no, he said he's studying medical medicine and surgery. So he's going to eventually specialize if he wants to do neurosurg neurosurgery. That's surgery around
Okay.
nerves and the likes. Okay,
Okay.
so you guys have beautiful story. Hillary on the comment section said she would have loved to become a midwifery, but she studied human resource management. Now the question now is, who is that person you wish to become? The truth of the matter is, whoever that person is, you can actually become that same person. So, Hillary, if you still want to go into midwifery, it's very possible. All you need to do is desire in your heart that this is the career path I want to take, and eventually build yourself along that line. And basically that's what the first chapter of this book is talking about. Your If you can explore, desire, plan, think, then we'll be able to make the best of our courses here. That's why that first chapter is very important. Now, the second thing here, I have on my slide is your career path can change over time. This is one thing I tell people. So you don't have to say, "Oh, I want to become a I want to study medicine and surgery." So now I'm studying medicine and surgery. In 10 years' time, you now find out that the opportunities in medicine and surgery has reduced drastically. I'm only having few opportunities in this field. Now, at that point, you can change your career path. You can decide, oh, let me specialize in taking care of kids. So let me do something around what do they call pediatric? I think that's it, pediatric. Maybe something around um 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 surgery focused on kids. Or you say, oh, my one of my family doctor who passed on few years ago. God bless his soul. Very strong man, very intelligent man. Sincerely, when I heard the story about his death, I was arguing that how will this man die? Because he's someone that his lifestyle is just very unique, and he was a cardiac surgeon, so he deals with anything that has to do with the heart. That was his specialization. Now, my point is, your career path can change over time, and why you need to be willing to change is because the world is changing. The needs and the focus and the desires of people changes over time. At some point we were all mentioning tech. At some point in Nigeria, you every the best career path to go into was the oil industry, but now it has shifted. People are looking at tech, the tech industry, fintech, AI, this one, that one. So career path can change over time. I've seen people who have moved from nursing to tech. I've seen people who have moved from tech to nursing, from lab scientist to cyber security. So career path can change, and you only need to start with something you are really interested in. Okay. The only thing that would push you in life is when you have interest in something. For example, if you are asked to eat rice and beans and you don't enjoy eating rice and beans, the little opportunity you have to do away with rice and beans, you will throw that food away. Are you getting me? It's as simple as that. Why? Because your mind is not there, your spirit, soul, and body is not in it. And so, if there is anything I want you to take from this class today, is that my life will be successful if I am interested in chasing after a career that I'm interested in. So if somebody have we talked you to study human resource management and you don't develop interest in it, eventually you would face one reality that you'll be like, who forced myself? Why am I doing this thing? What's the need for me? And eventually you start doubting yourself and thinking otherwise. Your career path does not have to be what you studied. I've really stressed this out. You don't have to say, oh, because I studied this is what I'm going to do all my life. You can learn a new path and be very good at it. That's another thing that is actually for real. You can and my case is what I'm going to share with you. So I told you I studied pure and applied chemistry in Lautech from 2008 to 2013. Then look at I did my NYSC as a media intern. Okay, I worked in a radio station. I know your head is thinking, how is it possible? Okay, so let me give you the gist. Now, when we were seven, I served in a state called Ekiti State in Nigeria, Ado Ekiti precisely, which is the state capital. And so in camp, unlike Ghana, in Nigeria, when you want to go and serve, you spend 3 weeks in a particular campground. Okay. But in Ghana here, there's no 3 weeks camping anything. They just deploy you straight up. So after the 3 weeks camp, then they deploy you to different places to work. That's how it is in Nigeria. So during the 3 weeks camp, I'd already made up my mind for a long time that I didn't want to teach. So I was actually looking for something apart from teaching. I'd shared that in my book also. So during the 3 weeks camp, I worked in camp as the OBS studio manager. So I have a lot of my friends who we serve together that still call me OBS manager, OBS, OBS. So and there I was in charge of media publicity, sound. That was what I was doing in camp. So I was one of the bigger boys in camp. And so I had a team of core members who were working with me, who were my team members, and we're working together. Some days ago, I posted my NYC picture, and people were like, "What? What is this?" And I was looking at it. Although I was so tiny, I still had a very, very strong team. I had a team of over 30 core members that I was working with. So leadership has been my lifestyle for a very long time. For a very, very long time. Okay, now back to the story. While I was in camp, about 3 days to leave camp, I did a broadcasting announcement from the studio. And when I did that, I didn't even know that anybody was in camp. I was just enjoying myself, playing music. You play the music, and later you take a break and you give your announcement. Hello, core members. This is happening by so time today, 5 p.m. Everybody needs to report at the pavilion. The so wants to meet you. Then you play the music. Then you pause again and say, "I hope you guys are having a great time today. This evening we're going to be doing some shout outs, and if you have some shout out, please walk down to the studio and share with us here. We'd like to hear from you." Then you pause again. So that was my life in camp. It was so sweet, right? I'd not done anything related to that before. Although while I was in school, I was in the technical team. I dealt with sound, speakers, microphone, where that was what I was doing in my campus fellowship. So handling speakers, handling sound, doing electrical stuff was not new to me, but this was a different field. And here it is. I never knew this woman was in camp. So I just heard after making the announcement that someone came to meet me and said, Israel, someone wants to see you outside. I said, okay, who is that? So I went out. And immediately I saw a woman smiling at me saying, were you the one that just spoke on the radio now? I said, yes, ma. Good afternoon, ma. She said, oh, I love your voice. And in my head, I was like, my voice. Come on, what is so special about my voice? I know one day, I'm going to interview her and we'll get to talk about this. I'm still very much in touch with her, even after how many years. He said, no, I love your voice. I love the way you were speaking on the radio. What did you study? I said, I studied pure and applied chemistry. He said, oh my God. But, but you know what? I just want to work with you. I don't even care what you study. I love your voice and you are going with me to the radio. I was like, ma, there are a lot of people that did mass come here. She said, no, no, no. You are one of my choice. And she wrote my name down, wrote my NYC ID, and that was it. I don't know what to call it. I would say maybe grace found me, or I was lucky, or I was in the right place at the right time. I really don't know what to say, but that was how I found myself working in a radio and TV station. And right there in Ekiti, before I left Ekiti State, I read news. I read news several times. I was reading news, early morning news, 6 a.m. And a friend of mine, Bolaji Akitikori, she's now in the UK, happily married and working in the UK. And it was a new experience for me. It was fun. And you see, when I was rounding up my program in Ekiti, I was now thinking, should I go into this thing? It was so fun, but because my head has always been money conscious, I just looked at it and how much is their salary? Say, oh no, I'm not doing. So that was how I left radio and TV broadcasting, but it was really fun for me. And then I traveled back to Ibadan and I started a new path as a marketing and salesperson in real estate. You want to ask me, come on, how did you move from chemistry to media and to real estate? Now in 2016, I had gone back to Ibadan. I wanted to do my MSc, and one of my friends in camp reached out to me and said, "Oh, Israel, I'm coming to Ibadan for MSc. I've gained admission and I'm looking for accommodation. Please help me check out this particular hostel. This is the address. This is the contact of the person." And I said, "Okay, fine." So I went to meet that lawyer that very day. And as I was speaking with the lady, she said, "Oh, I'll take you to the house. This is how much the hostel is about 100,000 naira. So what you're getting is you get a room, a kitchen, a bathroom, and toilet to yourself all in one. We call it room self-contained." I said it's going for 100,000. I said, "Wow, wonderful." I said, "Okay, can we go and check it?" So when we went to check it, and I asked her, I said, "If I'm able to get you students, how much will you pay me?" He said, "Oh, if you're able to get me student for this hostel, I'm gonna pay you 10%. I said, "Really? Then it is a deal." And that was how I started my journey as a marketer and salesperson, as a real estate agent. You see, so I was that kind of person who was always open to jumping on opportunities. When an opportunity come my way, I don't sleep on it. I jump on it, even though I don't even know how to go about it, right? But I jumped on it, and sincerely, I did that job so well that the hostel was almost everybody in that hostel was brought to that hostel by my contact. We had about 20 something rooms. So I got over about 15 to 18 tenants in that hostel through my marketing and sales strategy. Now, at that same time, I was studying in school, but eventually I had to drop out because I was so carried away doing real estate business that my result was so bad. So bad. I'm not going to go into that. I wrote a book about that in 2016. My first book. You can see that I wrote my first book and published it. The title of that book is "Forge Ahead, Never Give Up." Okay, so I worked as a property manager also because eventually the owner of that hostel loved my marketing skills and he made me manager. He made me a manager over that property in 2016. So in 2016, I started property management. This is a fresh graduate, so someone that just finished NYC. So, property management. I was working as a real estate agent, and I wrote my first book. Then in 2017, I started learning about digital marketing. Now, I did a little bit of digital marketing as a sales and marketing person, as a real estate agent, but here I decided to take it more serious. What was I doing? I was leveraging on a lot of third-party apps to promote this particular facility. So I didn't just start digital marketing today. I've been in the game for many years. In 2018, I went for a 3 month course in Lagos. Then 2019 December, 2019, I worked as a digital marketer in a digital agency in Lagos from January to December. And 2020 January, I decided to start my own digital agency to support small medium enterprises. That was when COVID broke, and thank God, I had started my own stuff from my home. I was working and earning money. Then 2023, no, 2021 July, because of my marketing skills, I got a job to work with a South African company in Nigeria. And so I worked with this company. And in 2022, I did my first international trip to South Africa. I was invited because I was now like their country led in Nigeria. And so I went to South Africa to meet my colleagues. It was a very beautiful experience. Then in 2024, in 2023, I worked as still a digital marketer here, but now I was working with a company in Texas, US, as a digital marketing strategist. Now, in 2023, I started working. I started a business with my brother called Ronai's Hospitality, and that was what brought me to Ghana. Now, this has been my career path. You will see that it wasn't a one-way thing. I've done so many things, but every of this thing I did, one of the things that kept pushing me was I developed interest in them. So when you see people fail in life, one of the reasons is because they don't have interest in what they're doing. Oh, when I was working in the radio, you would think I studied mass communication. I just loved writing. So we'll watch news, we'll watch CNN, we'll watch BBC, we'll watch all these international TV broadcasts. And so from what we're watching, we're going to write headlines, write our own news story from it. And that is what we're going to cast in the afternoon or in the evening. So I learned how to write news stories. And when I write like that, I pass it to the chief editor, he edits it, and he reads it, edits it, and he gives it to the newscaster to go and read on the radio. So even though I didn't study anything mass comm, but I developed interest in it. I just have a way of learning very quickly anything I develop interest in, and that's one of the things you need to know, to move on in life. So that's my story, right? And sincerely, my story do not need to be like your story. And here I'm talking about my friend, the CEO of Nichub, Nicholas Alifa. You see, his career path is totally different from mine. This guy has done almost everything around his life related to food. So he's more like a food scientist. Is in the UK also doing his PhD in the UK. Now, and time will not permit me to go into that. I wanted to share with you his LinkedIn profile. Let me see if I can pull that out. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull that out. LinkedIn. Let me see. Please let me know what you can see on your screen because I've left there. Let me know if what you can see on your screen. Someone should just unmute and tell me. Nicholas Alifa.
Your
Can you?
presentation slide with Mr.
Okay, you're
Nicholas.
still seeing. Okay, you're still seeing my presentation slides. Okay, Nicholas Alifa. I want to show you Nicholas' profile on LinkedIn. So you see his career path, what he has done over the years, and okay, let me see. Okay, this is his profile. I'm just going to share my screen so that you all can see it. Why I'm doing this is I don't want you to have this mindset that um you cannot have one straight career path. No, there are a lot of people who do not have like my story. Their life is straight. Me, I've been up and down the universe. so so you don't get it confusing. You don't get a half kind of story. So Nicholas. Okay, his profile is loading, and when it loads, I'm just going to share my screen with you. Okay, to load it. I'll share this profile with you on the group so that you can also take out some time to go through his profile. What I'm saying in essence is, for me, my career path wasn't straight. It evolved over the years, right? From media intern to to real estate agent, sales and marketing, to I didn't touch so many other things I did. I remember working with volunteering as a project manager for some organizations. I remember working as an executive assistant to one man like that in the US. Before then, I remember also working as a what was my role there? I worked with one um glow company, and my job there was more like a logistics manager. You see, so I did really a lot of things, but I just touched on the most important ones. Okay, I think I can now try and share my screen, although this thing is still misbehaving, but let me see. Going to load. So what I'm saying in essence is don't get it confused. Your career path can actually be as straight as possible. It doesn't have to be my way. It doesn't have to be very crooked. Content from camera property. So let me know if you can see my screen now. What can you see on your screen? Someone should just unmute and talk because I can't see you guys. Hello, is anybody here? Can you hear me? Hello?
See your screen, your LinkedIn.
Okay, good. So this is Nicholas Alifa profile on LinkedIn, and you can see here that he he is a PhD researcher. He's a food research scientist, Commonwealth Scholarship alumni, Harvard Executive Educator alumni, and here he says, "I help the food industry leverage data science and
Hello,
technology
Mr.
to." Yes, please.
Yes, I don't know if your student, if they're actually with you, they should just
Hello,
give an emoji to
can you hear me
if
now?
section is here.
Hello, I lost you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm saying that most of your students, I don't know if their attention is on this call. So if you can, maybe they just give an emoji, a thumbs up, or a love emoji, or just to sort of signal their attention.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so tell me, Emmanuel, Hilary, Victor, are you here? Okay, I can thank you, Hilary. Okay, Emmanuel is here. Victor, are you here? Are you still with us? Okay, Victor, are you still with us? Give us an emoji just to be sure you're here. So let's continue. Thank you for that, Jesse. Now, you see that I want to take you through the different things Nicholas have done. Then you will understand that your career path do not need to be crooked like mine. So you see here that let's show all. In February 2024, he was a researcher somewhere, working somewhere as a food scientist. Um, uh, I think something is wrong with my internet. It's just too slow. It's too slow. It's too slow and draggy. I think what I'm going to do is okay. Good. That's opened up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Now this is far back October 2022, food production operative. Okay, he did an internship in the UK. Um, this is March 2017 to February 2022. He was an agri-tech firm called Ajaoko, and they were producing rice. Those were one of their products. They were packaging and producing rice. Yes, Center for African Food Research. This was September 2024. Okay. No, 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 no. This has gone back. So basically, all his life, he has been working on food, food scientist, food research. Is either he's doing something related to food, or he's doing something here in the UK. He worked as a research assistant on National Center for Food Manufacturing. You see, here he went to study University of Reading as a research assistant. Here is a food production operative personnel. That's what I'm trying to talk about here. That your story do not have to be one way. Okay? It doesn't have to be one way. You 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 can you can have a straight career path. You can have a straight career path, and still have a very beautiful life. So let me go back to my slides, and we'll round it up because we're almost done. We're almost done. Um, just we're almost done. Okay. So for those of you that read the book, one of the things we talked about was to so what we talked about was basically to we talked about five things. While my slides is trying to load, let me just pick the book and we'll take it up from there. Um, Five checks for a successful exploration. I mentioned five things you really need to check. So when you want to define the career path, yes, you can follow him on LinkedIn. I'm going to share his LinkedIn profile, in the on the WhatsApp group, so you can get to know more about him. So five checks, and before we finish this program, is going to come on live to talk to us. The first one is check your strength. I'm doing this because for those of us who want to define what our career path should look like, right? You want to know what exactly you want to do, because the first thing you need to do in choosing your career path is to make a choice on what exactly you want to do with your life, right? And that is to make that choice. You want to check your strength. You want to check your strength. Then you want to check your interest. What are my strengths? Your strength could even be very different from what you're interested in. For me, I have strength on so many things: leadership, talking, marketing. You know, I, I'm that kind of person that I easily don't give up on something, even if everybody has given up on it. I will not give up until I've exhausted myself. Even when I've exhausted myself on it, I will still find a reason to keep working on that thing till I get the result. So that's my strength. When you give me a project, you can go and sleep. I'll get it done. I might not get it done on the time you have given me because of the challenges I might face on it, but I will definitely get it done somehow. So that's my strength. So you want to check yourself and say, okay, what's my strength? Okay, then the second is, what am I interested in? For me, if I had gotten a teaching job, I wouldn't be very good at it. Not like I'm not a good teacher, like you can see. You've been enjoying my class. I know how to teach. Like I think I'm born to be a teacher. It's just that I didn't want to do the conventional teaching in the classroom. No, that was not what I really wanted to do. So I'm a born teacher. Like anything I know very well, I want to pass it on. I want to help people. I want to teach. So yeah, teaching is one of my interests. Check your skills. You want to look at what are those things that you are very good at. Those are your skills. Okay, are you a good writer? Are you a good speaker? Are you very good in arranging things? Oh, I think I'm very good in scattering. If there's any skill like that, come on, I'm so good at it. I can scatter a whole house in 5 minutes. So you need to check your skills. What are you good at? Then also check your results. By checking your result, you want to see what are those things that I've done before and what did I get. For example, I've told you about my story about sales and marketing, how I marketed a new hostel to students coming from different parts of Nigeria, and I was able to get that hostel filled up with over 20 tenants, right? That is my result. I did that job. So I can brag about it anywhere. I can talk about it anywhere. So anything you have done and you got a result from it could be a sign to what you're good at. Basically, that's what we want to achieve here. We want to be able to say that, oh, Emmanuel, this should be what you should be focused on. Oh, Hillary, this should be what you should be focused on. So you want to check these five key things because here we are exploring. That's the first key. We are exploring. So you want to check them. You want to check your strength. You want to check your interest. You want to check your skill. You want to check your result. The last one is people's perception of you. You see, this one, I will never forget this story. I remember while I was in school, at some point I was lecturing. Not really lecturing, we were doing tutorials. So in my campus fellowship, I remember I was lecturing some what do they call the students? So um P degree. So there are students who come to they didn't write jam. They want to go through P degree, pre-degree. So they do a course in school. If they pass very well, then they will be enrolled into 100 level immediately, right? So this pre-degree student, I was taking them on some courses. I'm very good in math, so I was taking them. I think is either math or chemistry, right? So I did that for many years. I remember also taking a very tough course for my lower levels. I was on 300 level. I'm taking a course on to the 200 level student, to the 100 level student, chemistry related courses. So, and a guy walked up to me and said, I think this guy was my senior, he's a senior colleague. Yeah. He said, Israel, you are very good in teaching. I said, thank you, sir. I know. I know. I said, thank you so much. I said, I see you lecturing. I said, wow. I see you lecturing. You're just so good. Okay. You make sure you stay on this part. I said, okay, sir. Thank you very much. So what I'm trying to say, you need to check people's perspective of you. You see, when you're good at something, people will tell you, right? And he was not the only person. A lot of persons had told me, "Oh, you're very good in teaching. When we sit in your class, we just understand these things very well." And yes, I'm born a teacher. I grew up from a family. My parents still own a nursery and primary school, so we were all trained. We were all taught to teach. So then, when I come back from secondary school, I'll go back to the nursery and primary school to teach students mathematics, to do lesson. So it has become part of me over the years. And some of my siblings are also very good when it comes to my elder brother. Oh my God, that one is so good in teaching. So teaching was my kind of thing. And that's why I told myself I didn't want to lecture because I just got tired of the classroom setting. I wanted to do something totally different. And what I'm also doing now is teaching. I'm teaching you guys, but I'm doing it in a different way, and I enjoy it here. Okay, so what I'm trying to say in essence is these five things, if you check them carefully, you'll be able to define a career path for yourself. You'll be able to say, oh, this one I don't want it, this one I don't like it. It's good. I'm skilled with it, but this is not what I'm interested in. Just like I told you, I had decided a long time ago that no, I love teaching, but no, I don't want to lecture in classroom. No, it's not what I want to do. I wanted to do it in a different way. Okay, that would help you know the career path to focus on. Okay, and here I talked about who do you want to be? Do you want to be Israel Oriaku or you want to be Nicholas Alifa? You know, Nicholas Alifa is a food scientist. Israel Oriaku has done so many things. Now he's a group marketer and a business development manager. And this is who I am, right? And like I said, your career path can go through the waters and the ocean before you decide something. Don't be angry, oh. If in 5 years' time you see me and I'm now a governor of a state in Nigeria, don't be angry. It's just how God has designed it for me. I'm not just, yeah, I have different phases of my life. So that's by the way. But my point is you can actually know what you want to be even as a student while you're still in school. The moment you are able to identify this, it will help you close your eyes against unnecessary distractions. Look at JC, for example. JC said he was advised by by a counselor, and that counselor helped him make a better choice. And the moment he discovered he was so interested in accounting, it blocked his mind. It made him focus. It made him study hard. It made him, it made him a better person. And that's how beauty life can be for you the moment you choose your career path early. When you choose your career path early, it just helps you move on with a lot of things. And these activities are actually there to help us streamline on our distractions and help us focus on what career path we want to take. The first question here is when you hear the word explore, what comes to mind in relation to your career path? And so when you look at it, you want to say something like, okay, so for many of us who are just starting, Emmanuel, what level are you now? Remind me.
I'm about to enter, sir.
Oh, you're just getting into school, so medicine
Yes,
and
sir.
surgery. Victor, what level are you?
I will just enter 100 level, 100 level,
400.
Victor, you're in
100.
400 level.
Yes, sir.
Good. So you're almost rounding up. Your course is a 4 year course or a
Yeah,
5 year course?
engineering. It's a 5 years program.
It's a 5 years program. Good. So now, so this is a good time for you to now streamline and say, okay, looking at my strength, looking at my interest, looking at my what people are saying about me, what what journey do I want to take? Do you want to share? I think you have gone through the questions, right? So do you want to share with us?
Sir, you are blessed in Jesus' name.
Okay, Victor,
I'm just
Victor
telling
is
you.
All right. Question is when you hear the word explore, what comes to your mind? Okay,
yeah.
I would like to start with a story. When I on the level, I never really liked the course, though I had something in mind that we do in the course. So when I get to Sunday level, I was still chasing an A, that is first class, but then I
Yes,
never
sir.
really know what to do. So when I get to 300 level, I actually went on LinkedIn and I saw people who are actually doing well. I began to study them and I picked a niche I want to work on, what I know I'm good at. I'm very good at teaching, calculating, and I decided to be an analyst in the course. So it was as a result of my exploration that I get to understand that I can actually pick something I could do in that course. So explore is just like analyzing to see the niche you fit in best.
Mm.
Then second
Also,
says, what is the one thing you do so naturally that people often reward and compliment you for? Okay, people always compliment the way I speak. And secondly, I'm a teacher. Yes, I've
also,
taught in schools and in other parastatals like fellowship and more. So what skill do you currently have that exercise you the most? Okay, now I do graphics at my leisure time, though I don't monetize it, but I do graphics.
okay.
Looking ahead 5 years, where would you love to see yourself professionally? And what small step will you take today? All right. In the next 5 years, I had a plan not to study ahead, as in do my master's. So after my master's, I plan seeing myself owning a firm. So as a CEO.
Okay,
Thank you.
great, great, Victor. Great, great, great. I love the way you went through each of the questions. And I also love your story. I'm so happy that you were able to understand the niche you are interested in chasing after school. Now that you have designed a career path, if I get you right, the career path you've designed for yourself has to do with data analysis, something around analyzing data, and am I saying your mind, or I'm wrong? Correct me, please.
Yeah, specifically, it's a failure analyst that's in a part that's to do with construction, buildings, and material strength in material metallurgical engineering.
Awesome. Failure analyst. Good, good, good. Now, I, I I want you to write this down wherever you have your notepad, and that's going to help us going forward, because all our courses are sequential. That means for those who missed today's class, by tomorrow, if they have not defined that their career path, it will be very difficult matching up with what we'll be doing tomorrow. Okay, so I'm glad you have, and so I want you to write it somewhere bold, and that okay, this my name is Victor, and this is the career path I have chosen for myself. For the next 5 years, I want to become a failure analyst in in building materials methodology. Okay, you already know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you have to write that down. Why you need to write it down is because it will help you develop a conscious mindset around what you have decided and what you have chosen for yourself. Okay. For Hillary is a graduate. I don't know if you want to talk about this, or you can drop a message in the comments of. But I know Jesse, what are you studying in the UK for your masters? Tell us.
International business, MSc.
MSc International Business. Awesome. Awesome. So JC had done accounting. Now he's doing international business. But you remember one of the things he said is he had a very strong interest in business, in numbers. And so what he's doing is in line. He's building a career path for himself as regards numbers, as regards business. So it's important. See, if you don't define the career path you want to take for yourself, you just see yourself messing up. For me now, in the next 5 years, this is what I'm going to be doing. At some point, I wanted to actually learn about cybersecurity. A lot of people were talking to me about cybersecurity. I did some courses, but hey, 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 when that's why I said everything in life is tied to your interest. When I saw that, um, do I really love the course? I do. I really love the course. But when it comes to interests, it's not my thing. It's not something I'm so excited about. No, it's not like I'm not excited about. I really love the fact that I can easily um um one of my skill is problem solving. So when I say problem, I want to provide a solution to it, right? But it's not keen. It's not something I'm so interested in. Chasing after some scammers or some how will I put it? Some cyber bully guys. And as a cyber security personnel, you always have to be around your laptop. And no, my life will not always be around the laptop because by default I'm more of a business person. Okay. And so when I looked at it in a larger scale of things, I just told myself that this career is sweet. Oh, there's money in it, but Israel, leave it for them. Leave it for them and focus on your business and growth marketing. Okay, so you need to be able to define what you want. And sincerely, this is what I do. Even in Ronald's hospitality, the business we started in Ghana, that's been my focus. So pick up hotels, we'll manage it, but eventually my focus there is growth, how to grow the business, how to ensure the facility is growing, getting more businesses, do some digital marketing stuff, network with more people, and that is my key area. Okay, so whatever career path you have chosen, you must make up your mind to stay on it for a period of time and build from it. Hilary, do you want to say something before I take? Yeah, so let me take in some questions. I don't know if anybody has any question for me or some contribution before we call it a day. Emmanuel, do you have something to say? Do you have any question for us? Anybody? Yeah, Jesse, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. Specifically, this question is for the attendees to be able to
Okay.
learn. What would you advise if someone is constantly in a state of confusion as to what to do or what career paths to go into? How would you advise that person to overcome that?
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Jesse. So, like I would do, I'll take the person through these 5 checks that I mentioned earlier. When you are in a confused state, it is not like you don't know what to do. You are only confused on what to your problem is making a choice. So to help you make a better choice, I'll take you through these 5 checks. We'll talk about your strengths and weaknesses. So we'll do a SWOT analysis to look at your strengths and your weaknesses. Right. Then we'll look at your interests. For example, let me give you an instance about my love for cybersecurity. I love it so much. Where is my strength around cybersecurity? I will be working on the computer. I love working on my PC. Right. It, See, if you are taking anything from me, don't take away my laptop. No, don't take away my laptop. It will make me so I don't know how to put it. Not useless per se, but no, 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 no. So I love to work because I'm a tech person. I love to work with the system. But when we look at interests, I have so many interests apart from chasing after hackers, scammers. I have my key interest most of the time is in business success, is in empowering people to be employable, right? And so when I weighed it as regards interests, you see, it was not my key thing. it's a problem I want to solve, but I can solve it in a different way. Maybe have a foundation or have a business in cybersecurity, get the technical guys to do the job, but I'm on the business side of it. I'm more keen in solving business problems than in solving technical problems of the business. I don't know if you get it. So I would take the person through the 5 checks. And this if we go through these 5 checks, I'm sure by the end of it, we'll be able to define the career path you should chase. Because when we look at your interest, we look at your strength, we look at your interest, then we look at your skills. Okay, you say, oh, you are interested in like Victor has just told us, that he has interest in teaching. Then we also see that he also have a teaching skill. You see it. It's not like you have interest in it and you've not tried it. No. And we also see that he has results. I don't know if you get it. We have results. He has results that he has taught in different places. So now, if he's choosing a career path related to failure analyst, I'm sure that he's going to do so well in it, because for you to be a failure analyst, it has a lot to do with your ability to convince some set of persons that this thing you are doing is not going to work. So you have to be good in your how will I put it, in your use of words, in your ability to teach. So as a senior analyst, if I'm not wrong, basically what a lot of things he is gonna be doing has to do with analyzing some specific things and maybe presenting it to some persons to say, this is why this thing will not work. This is why this will fail. This is why this will be better. This is why you should consider using this particular metal and thickness of this metal as against this. Now, there's a lot that comes into convincing people. So if you're not good in speaking, if you're not good in teaching, you'll have problem. Now, so the last one is people's perception. And he has said he has taught in several places, and I'm sure people have told him he's a good teacher. So my point is, anyone having career problems, you're confused, you don't know what to do. You don't know if you should be a food scientist or a digital marketer. You just run the person through these 5 checks: strength, interest, skill, result, and people's perception. Then I'm sure at the end of the day, the person will be just like I was able to wake myself up from my cybersecurity journey to say, Israel Oriaku, I know you love cybersecurity, but no, 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 leave it for the people that have that career path. And so if you go through my LinkedIn post, you see when I wrote a post on my heartbreak. No, I said, how did I put it there? I said I'm breaking my relationship with cybersecurity. Okay, so yes, it's normal to be confused sometimes when you are multi-talented, multi-skilled, and you have a lot of choices in front of you. Sometimes you might just not know what exactly to choose. But the way around it is just going through this 5 checks. I hope I've been able to answer your question, JC. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes.
Welcome. Thank you for the explanation.
Okay. Yeah, Victor, please go ahead.
All right, I had a friend that started an NGO, but then he had everything in place, every arsenal, mentally and idea wise, but then he had no opportunity. So it looks as if the whole essence of making it is given and not actually by what you got, by your interest. He has tried networking, but then he has no platform. So it makes the whole idea that making it in a career is actually given and not really by what you got. I don't know if there's anything you can say about that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Victor. Lovely question. Now, there is one thing about making a choice in your career path, and there's another thing about succeeding in that career path. There are two different things. And you will see it as we go through these 2 weeks. I'm going to be talking so much around it, how you can make it in your career path. Tomorrow, we are looking at the second E, and we're looking at looking out for mentorship. The second E there is engage. I also run an NGO called Nichub Capacity Development Center. I'm a businessman by default, by blood. I'm a businessman, and the only reason why some of you are in this course today is because of my NGO. The organization has stepped in, and many of you are able to join. My normal self, I will never give out anything for free. You will have to pay. You just must pay. Right? So there's a way to go around it when it comes to being successful with any idea you have. Okay, and as we go through the 2 weeks, I'm definitely going to share some ideas with you. And yes, you can also book a one-on-one section with me and your dad. If I heard you clearly, I can do a one-on-one section with him to really help him get it right. As a person who believe in successful businesses, I there's always a way around it. So he might be trying to network and yet not being able to build a platform. There are different ways to build a platform. There are different ways. There are different ways. There are different ways. And if you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it. It's as simple as that. If you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it. I've just used 2 years in Ghana, and I must say that in these last 2 years, there are a lot of people that has heard about me. There are a lot of places that my name has gone to that even me myself have not been there. So there is a way around building this platforms or connecting or doing this stuff. Your hands is still up. I don't know if you still have another question, Victor.
No, 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 no. I'm just new to the app and I don't know how to
Okay.
navigate for you.
Okay. So yes. So that's very very possible. There's a way around it, and in the next 2 weeks, we'll definitely be talking about some of these things. I hope I've been able to answer that particular question. Thank you so much. Hilary, do
Yeah,
you have
yes, sir.
anything to say? Okay. So if there is nothing, we'll be calling it a day. Tomorrow you'll join us with the same link by 5 p.m. We're going to be talking about mentorship, what to do as regards mentorship. How do you find mentors? How do you choose mentors? Now, this whole idea of this program is to help you, you know, position yourself to get the right employment after school. And tomorrow's topic is very key because is going to be showing you how to go about it. So tomorrow we're going to be doing a lot of practical stuff. So take your time and go through the chapter 2 of the book so that when we meet tomorrow, we'll just do more related activities. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. It's been a very interesting time, and I'm glad you have learned one or two things. So we'll call it today and we'll meet ourselves tomorrow by 5 p.m. GMT. It's been a great time with you, and have a great evening.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
Yeah, thank you,
Good night.
JC. Yeah, bye.
All right, bye, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir.